The rise to power of Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso signaled a significant change in the course of the country. Traore steered the nation toward economic autonomy and self-reliance by challenging long-standing systems, in contrast to many leaders who choose traditional answers. When he became office, he found a country beset by debt, resource exploitation, and weakened sovereignty as a result of years of economic mismanagement. There was little optimism, and the people were disillusioned. Historically, countries in similar situations have looked to foreign governments or international organizations for assistance. Traore, however, set out on a new path. He thought Burkina Faso had the capacity to become independent on its own without the help of outside financial support. Unlocking this potential and uniting the populace around the common objective of self-sufficiency were central to his vision. This strategy wasn't risk-free. Traore exposed Burkina Faso to serious economic difficulties by refusing foreign aid. However, he also set the stage for a revolutionary change that would not only pay off the country's debt, but also reshape its course for the future. Burkina Faso's economic figures at the beginning of his term were bleak. For a country with no economic infrastructure, the nation's debt of almost $4.79 billion was a startling amount. However, Traore believed that these obstacles might be overcome with the appropriate tactics. Regaining control of the country's resources was a key component of his strategy. In an effort to increase domestic gold production, Traore declared in October 2024 that he intended to cancel several foreign mining permits. In order to protect the nation's treasure from outside exploitation, he underlined the necessity of the government having more control over the gold industry. This action caused global markets to tremble. Concerns about possible permission withdrawals caused large share price drops for companies such as West African Resources. Following Traore's announcement, the company's stock fell 25%, underscoring the policy's immediate economic effects. In April 2024, Traore unveiled a comprehensive plan for economic recovery that went beyond the mining industry. Immediate repayment of accrued domestic debt was a major priority. All minor debts will be paid off beginning next week, he said. To stimulate the national economy, we shall then progressively advance to the bigger ones. This tactic sought to boost the economy's liquidity and rebuild local companies' trust. Another important aspect of Traore's vision for independence was agriculture. He gave local producers equipment valued at over 78 billion CFA francs in May 2024. The goal of this investment was to increase food self-sufficiency and agricultural output. Comparing the distribution to prior years, there was a notable increase in fertilizer and equipment, indicating a renewed emphasis on bolstering the nation's agricultural industry. In the business world, Traore was in charge of the construction of an $8 million tomato processing plant in Bobo Dioulasso. The project was started in September 2023 with the goal of increasing the value of local products and lowering post-harvest losses. More than 10,000 indirect jobs and more than 150 direct jobs were anticipated to be created by the plant, greatly boosting the local economy. Traore also implemented reforms in the political arena. He increased the compensation of state personnel by 50% while lowering the salaries of ministers and lawmakers by 30%. He chose to keep getting paid as a military captain instead of accepting the presidential salary, demonstrating his personal dedication. Addressing income inequality and bringing the leadership into line with the economic realities of the people were the goals of these policies. Traore aimed to strengthen national identity on a cultural level. In November 2024, the government ordered magistrates to wear clothing made from Faso Dan Fani, a traditional local fabric, instead of the black robes worn during the colonial era. This action was a component of a larger initiative to support regional goods and demonstrate cultural autonomy. Traore separated Burkina Faso from past colonial powers on the global stage. He signaled a move toward more national autonomy by expelling French troops and outlawing French media. Alongside these measures, attempts were made to improve relations with nearby nations dealing with comparable issues. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger established the Alliance of Sahel States (ES) in September 2023 with the goal of strengthening their military and economic ties. Traore's policies started to show results 2 years into his term. The GDP of the nation increased significantly, rising from about $18.8 billion to $22.1 billion. The production of rice, millet, and tomatoes increased significantly, demonstrating the effectiveness of the sector's investments. The leadership of Ibrahim Traore is an example of a daring break from traditional governance. He has led Burkina Faso to economic independence and cultural revival by questioning established systems and emphasizing freedom. His term serves as a reminder of how visionary leadership may change a country's course.